Hello, and thank you for listening to Cave Chatter. I'm here with Cameron and Brooks. How y'all doing today?
Doing good, Justin. Another day closer to NFL football.
It is. So we've got 2 more days.
Three.
Three.
So yeah,
Tuesday, Wednesday. So
Thursday would be the third day.
2.
No, okay, come on. You count the third day. So yeah, another day closer to football. Another day closer to me being happy for 5 months. What is it? Football season, 5 months? Yeah.
That's so sad.
Nah, what? No, I'm just saying. I'm not saying I'm only happy during football season. No, I'm extra happy for 5 months out of the year. The other 7 are just normal happy.
Yeah.
I am so excited. We got college football started this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice. We got a game on, watching the replay right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm excited for the NFL season to get started and fantasy to finally get started. I'm ready to make some money.
Yeah.
Yes, except our league is cheap and no one wants to play for money.
Everyone wants to play for money.
We literally had a vote.
No, we didn't. We haven't voted this year. For the most part, I
we
think
don't have
people would be
commissioners,
okay
so
with
we can't
it.
really vote.
Ironically, our league is the only one that I'm in that's not for money.
Yeah.
But something about it being like for bragging rights makes it feel like a little bit
I'm
more.
in no money leagues, and it frustrates me because I want to.
Then how are you going to make money? You just said you're ready to make money.
On DFS.
Oh.
Daily fantasy, boy.
All right, yeah, so that leads into today's show. We're going to cover some daily fantasy insight between us, and also we're going to go over the spreads and
The
money
over-unders.
lines, over-unders
Mhm.
for this week's matchups. So I'm pretty excited. If you know me, I'm a gambling man. Not really good at it. Actually, I'm good at it, but if I lose, I always have to keep going until I win.
Yeah.
So
I've never had a problem spending money on games like sports, particularly football, because it's the one thing where I feel like I actually. Whereas like if you go to a casino, I'm like I don't want to. Bad odds. I don't want that.
On anything.
On football games, I'm like okay. I feel like I have a knowledge of this and a better than 50% chance of winning. So
I'm definitely the person who would gamble on like T-ball. So.
That's weird. You got a problem. We're gonna have to put one of those 1-800 numbers at the end of this at the end of this podcast. Hey, if you got a problem, call this.
But it's not even about the money. I just like the
competition.
Not even that. It's just the unknown.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where you're going with that one. I'm
part.
honest.
I just like not knowing.
Not knowing if you're going to win or not.
Just like that feeling. Yeah.
Not knowing.
But yeah, so
Lack of
Cameron is gonna be our host for today. The floor is yours.
Yeah. Okay. So what Justin just said, what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna go over some daily fantasy. I use DraftKings for my daily fantasy every week. Justin uses Yahoo
and DraftKings.
Brooks is on DraftKings. So for me, what I'm going to do is based off DraftKings, but I believe that they all have the same allotted salary.
Yeah,
it's
just cheaper. Like ours is in Yahoo's $200, so it's broken down into like $15, $10.
Right.
But it's all the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
no, not for winning, but for each player.
Oh, it's
like
just
our max salary is $200.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Whereas on DraftKings, it's like 40,000, I think.
But it has them ranked
50,000.
But it has them ranked in the same order.
Yeah, it is. It's just a smaller number. Okay, so I think what we're going to start by doing, we're all going to give our lineups that we have for this week and our daily fantasies that we're doing. So I'll just start with mine. At quarterback, I've got Ryan Tannehill. I like his matchup a lot against Arizona. Arizona did not have a very good defense last year. I see right here, Tannehill averaged about 22 fantasy points per game, which is really good. Josh Allen was the most at almost 27, so that's only about a 5-point difference there. My 2 running backs are going to be Dalvin Cook and James Robinson.
Okay.
Dalvin Cook is easily my biggest my biggest salary that I spent on this week. He's got a salary of $9,100 in DraftKings. And like I said, he's my max. My next closest is Tannehill with $6,500. So I always like to have at least one, maybe two like big money guys, and then try to fill out the rest with some better value picks. So Dalvin Cook, running back. James Robinson, he's a guy who I love this week going up against Houston. Houston last year had the 32nd ranked defense in terms of giving up fantasy points to running backs. So dead last in the NFL last year. They didn't do anything to improve themselves. They even shipped out some guys. So I expect James Robinson to have a really big week. For my receivers, I've got Chris Godwin, CeeDee Lamb, and Tyler Boyd.
Okay.
So those are my 3 receivers. I've got 2 coming up in the Thursday night game, first game, and that ties directly into something I said on the podcast yesterday. I originally had Mike Evans in there instead of Chris Godwin, but then the more I thought about it, because I said it yesterday, I think Chris Godwin's a great stardom this week because the Cowboys are going to send Traylon Diggs with Mike Evans. So I really do think Chris Godwin's going to have more opportunities this week, a lot more receptions. So Chris Godwin, and then CeeDee Lamb, who I've got, and he's got a salary of $5,700, which is really cheap. For example, Chris Godwin was $6,200, so $500 cheaper for CeeDee Lamb here on DraftKings, which I think is crazy. I mean, that puts him next to other guys like Brandon Ayuk. DJ Chark is more expensive than CeeDee Lamb. That's insane.
And DJ, honestly, I used to be really high on DJ, but right now I just don't know.
Yeah, and I like DJ Chark a lot too.
Yeah.
And then Tyler Boyd, like I said, he's going to be my 3rd wide receiver. Got a salary of $5,200.
Sorry. Just in, PFF just tweeted, Mark Andrews just signed 4 years, $56 million.
Ooh, a little bit of breaking news there. Okay.
So there you go. First to know it.
I like that. Yeah, first time ever we've had a breaking news on this podcast. That's cool.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. So what did you say? 4 years, $56 million.
$56 million. That's a lot.
Okay, that's good. I like that because that shows that they like him a lot and that they're going to continue to use him a lot. I have him in a couple of my leagues, so that's good to hear.
Awesome. Sorry.
No.
I figured y'all would like to know that.
Yeah, that's good. So speaking of tight ends, my tight end for this week is going to be Tyler Higby, tight end for the Rams. And I went with him. Tight end's usually one of the last spots I kind of fill because depending on how much remaining salary I have. And so I looked at my value for the salary I had. He's got a salary of $3,900 this week. That puts him well outside the top 15, maybe even top 20 in terms of salary. And he's going up against the 24th ranked defense from last year in terms of giving up points to tight end. So I like that value a lot. My flex play this week is going to be Michael Pittman in Indianapolis. Again, really cheap, $4,100, not expensive at all. And not only that, but I think they have him ranked pretty low on there. I don't think they have him valued correctly. He's going to be the number 1 receiver in Indianapolis this week. At least while T.Y. Hilton's out, he's going to be the number 1 receiver over there. And I'm really big on Michael Pittman. I said it yesterday on the podcast. So my flex play there. And then my defense is going to be the Bills, going up against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh actually had the 7th most fantasy points last year, but I just, I've said it already. I don't like Pittsburgh very much.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're going to do well, especially this first week of the year. I really like the Bills D for the value that they had for me there. So that's my lineup. Just a quick recap: Ryan Tannehill, Dalvin Cook, James Robinson, Chris Godwin, CeeDee Lamb, Tyler Boyd, Tyler Higby, Michael Pittman Jr., and Bills D.
Is Cook your most expensive player?
Dalvin Cook is by far my most expensive, like I said.
What's the gap?
So $9,100 for Dalvin Cook. Next closest was Ryan Tannehill with $6,500.
Okay.
So there's a $2,600 gap there.
When it comes to your strategy, do you use that lineup all across the board?
I do, yeah. I don't like mixing up lineups a lot. I tend to get a lineup that I like and use it in multiple games and multiple pools.
I'm the exact opposite. I like having a different lineup in every league.
Some people do. It depends. If you want to diversify, I guess you could say, if you want to have better odds of winning, right? And you're not so right now with my lineup, if I have one guy get me 0 points, say he goes out and won like one snap, then I'm kind of screwed. But I like to.
I agree.
Mhm.
I do the same lineup every now and then. I'll have like a different plug-in player, just in case.
Yeah, like a flex play. You switch around one or two guys. Yeah, but for the most part, I tend to keep the same overall lineup for me.
All right. I guess I'll go next, and then we'll lead on to Brooks. You got anything else on your lineup before I get started?
No, like I said, just one note. What I do first is, it's like Dalvin Cook was one of my first picks this week. I really like his matchup against Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously with him having a big salary, once I take my big, like I said, my first one or two picks are going to be my big salary guys. And then I fill around them with the remainder of the salary that I have left. So for me, it's worked out really well to find the matchups that I like for the big money players, because that's how you're going to, do well.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's give us your lineup here.
So I kind of want a little bit the same with you, a little bit different.
Mhm.
My quarterback, I have Matt Ryan, and on Yahoo DFS, he is $27, so that's kind of high.
So I'll say, you said Matt Ryan.
Mhm.
For context, he's $6,000 on
Okay.
DraftKings, where, like we said, the total allotted is like 50,000.
Yeah.
It's like 47.
So I do not have it up right now, the highest quarterback on Yahoo, but I think it's like 40. So that's kind
Dollars.
of, yeah.
Pat Mahomes, I would imagine.
Yeah. So yeah, I got Matt Ryan at quarterback. My highest paid player is Derrick Henry at running back for $34. So that kind of gives you an insight there.
Mhm.
Next, I have James Robinson. Just like you said, Houston defense.
That's a great matchup.
It's a great matchup. Same with Derrick Henry against Arizona. Great matchup. So, and Henry always has really big opening days. Same with Devontae Adams. But
And James Robinson, I think, is going as he's, at least on DraftKings, he's the 15th most expensive. So there's 14 other guys more expensive.
He's a
than
huge
him.
steal.
I mean, that's
Huge
incredible value.
Next at wide receiver 1, I have CeeDee Lamb, just like you. Super cheap, $19 for could be a wide receiver 1.
Mm-hmm.
So great steal there. I do have the other end of the field for Tampa. I have Mike Evans.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Godwin. I have Evans. How much did you say Godwin was? Like 67?
So Godwin was 62,
62.
And then Mike Evans is 65. So Mike Evans is going a little
Mike
bit more
Evans is
expensive.
$29.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of on the lower spectrum.
How much
for
was
wide
Godwin
receivers.
for Yahoo?
I do not know. I can check.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine.
And then next is DJ Moore. Cheap. $16 for DJ Moore.
Yeah.
And he's been looking good. I see articles on him every day too. Like they're excited about him.
Mm-hmm.
He rebranded wearing number 2. Looks extra scary.
Yeah.
So that black visor. But
I don't know if he's going to wear it during the game.
I don't know, but he looks scary.
Yeah.
But $16, I couldn't pass that up. I think he's gonna have a big day.
Mm-hmm.
And then tight end, I went with Robert Tonyan, just
Okay.
because I know Rodgers loves him. He's cheap,
Mhm.
$18, and he could easily have a 2-touchdown game. It just depends who Rodgers wants to throw the ball to that day.
Yeah.
And then flex, thanks to Cameron, I did enter Michael Pittman Jr. He talked me out of who did I have?
Did you text it to me earlier? Because
Yeah.
we were texting earlier. I don't know if
Yeah.
you texted it to me, and I told you to get Pittman.
Yeah.
Oh, you had Keenan Allen.
Yeah,
in your
Keenan
flex.
Allen, and he was expensive.
He's $18.
Yeah. So I put Pittman, and then my defense is obviously going to be Denver Broncos because they're playing the Giants. And I will take any defense against Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones. Gosh, that is a really good pick.
So, but that's what I got there. Kind of what I looked at there. Honestly, my game plan around it all is I get one solid running back like Derrick Henry, and then build around it. I always pick my RB1 first, and then defense I just pick the worst quarterback in the league to face.
Yeah.
So whoever's playing the Giants, I pick every year.
Yeah. I got pretty lucky. Well, not. I don't want to say lucky, but the Bills are pretty cheap this week because of how well, like I said, Pittsburgh last year had the 7th most fantasy points against defenses. So based off last year, they had the Bills really cheap.
Yeah.
But I like that value because I don't like Steelers offense.
Yeah. I got Denver for $13. So
Yeah, they are $800 more expensive than the Bills on
Yeah.
DraftKings.
what about you, Brooks?
So, real quick, do you want to just run through a quick recap of
Yeah.
your entire lineup that you have right there?
So I got Matt Ryan at QB. My 2 running backs are Derrick Henry, James Robinson. Wide receivers are CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans, DJ Moore. DJ Moore is a great steal if you need somebody to lower your salary. You can get him on the low end. Him and Robbie Anderson are pretty cheap, so something to think about. Tight end, I have Robert Tonyan. Flex, Michael Pittman Jr. And defense, Denver Broncos, because Daniel Jones sucks. So.
All right, so for my team, I've got a quarterback y'all not might like, but I think he's going to have a big first week. I got Zach Wilson as my quarterback.
Oh, I love that.
Okay. Yeah, I think we all like Zach Wilson
Yeah.
here. Plus,
I
mean,
liked him against Carolina, too. Their secondary is not good.
Yeah, and they do have a pretty good pass rush, but
Yeah.
I agree with you there. Plus, he's going to be dirt cheap.
Yeah, he was.
How much was he?
5,500. Or no,
Oh,
Five? No, he's 5,000.
5,000.
That's higher than I thought it would be.
Well, that's
Put
good.
it on Spectrum. How much is like a Tyrod Taylor?
Tyrod Taylor is 5,300.
So he's
cheaper than Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, that's
He's cheaper than Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is 5,300.
So yeah, it's cheap then.
Yeah,
He was right there with starting with all the backups. So I was like, okay.
I know that's if you are big on Zach Wilson, that's really good value. Plus, it gives you a lot of money for the rest of your team.
And my first running back is Nachi Harris. He was 6,300.
Okay.
I like him against the Buffalo front. Then I had James Robinson, like both of you, against the Houston D.
Yeah, you gotta take that. That's just
That seems
no-brainer.
like a no-brainer to me.
That's why I drafted him.
Real quick, Brooks, Nachi Harris is $100 cheaper than James Robinson, though. I thought that was. I don't know. Maybe that doesn't.
He's $500 cheaper.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Nachi
I'm
Harris?
looking at it now.
I think it's just going off last year's numbers.
Well, I don't know if that's something that as crazy.
Oh wait, no, I'm
As
sorry.
it
I was
is to
looking at. He's 100. You're right. I
Yeah,
was
so
looking
Nachi
at-
Harris is 6,300. James Robinson is 6,400. To me, I assumed, I guess, that Nachi Harris would have a salary similar to like some of the higher guys. Like, let's see. I mean, even DeAndre Swift is almost $7,000. Aaron Jones is 68. I would expect Nachi Harris to be up there, but again, good value there as well.
So my first wide receiver this week is Keenan Allen at 6,900.
Mhm.
My second wide receiver is Justin Jefferson. He's my highest player by far at 7,700. And then my third receiver is going to be CeeDee Lamb at 5,700.
So do we all? You have CeeDee Lamb too, Justin, right? Yeah. So we all have CeeDee Lamb. So I think we're all pretty high on him this week
Yeah.
as well. And like I said, we've all mentioned that's a really good price that all these daily fantasy sites have for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick insight. Yeah. So I found Yahoo. Mahomes is $40. So that kind of gives you perspective on how.
And Matt Ryan was what, like 20?
27.
Okay.
And then my tight end is Kyle Pitts at 4,400. I think he's going to have a good week
Yeah.
against Philadelphia.
Yeah, I do
And
too.
at $4,400, that's hard to beat right there.
Yeah, I know. I was $100 away from being able to put Kyle Pitts as my tight end. Unfortunately, I wasn't, but I'm still.
I always get frustrated when I have $100 left. I'm like, should I spend it? Is my lineup good?
Yeah, I was. All right, Brooks.
And then at my flex, I have Corey Davis, along with
I like that one.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson against the Carolina Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
And then my defense, I have the Ravens against Las Vegas.
Okay.
I like the Ravens D against them.
Yeah, and they're pretty down. They're pretty far down there in terms of price as well. So I think
Yeah, they're pretty.
you've got a lot of really. Can you see how much remaining salary do you have?
I have 0. I
Oh,
used all
you
my
used all of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I highly do that. I highly never do that.
It's very.
It's
I will
hard.
say it's always fun to like pick out a lineup and then you can like whenever I'm down to usually my last position is either like defense or a flex.
Mhm.
And whenever I see a guy I like for the exact remaining salary that I have, I'm like, okay, this is perfect.
See,
This
there's
is what it's
one
supposed to do.
change I might make. I might trade. I'm still going back and forth. Keenan Allen for Stephon and Robinson for Gibson. I'm not sure on that yet. I'm going back and forth, but I think I'm going to stick with what I have now.
So, do you have enough to trade out Keenan Allen for Stephon? You saying you would have to do both of them?
Yeah, I'd have to do both of them, yeah. I want to keep James Robinson, though, because I like him against Houston. That's why I want this lineup.
Could you trade out Najee for Antonio Gibson?
I could, but I like Najee better.
Okay. For me, James Robinson feels like one of those locks.
Yeah.
Like locks of the week. Like, you have to put this guy in your lineup.
Definitely.
He's going up against the worst statistical defense against running backs last year in fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Plus coming in at a price of, on DraftKings, $6,400. If you'll give me a second, if you want to just talk for a little bit, I can tell you exactly what rank that is.
Yeah, that's fine. One thing we can talk about is, so you said that the Ravens defense is pretty cheap. Broncos defense is even cheaper.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay,
so on Yahoo they're $13 and the Ravens are $18.
The Broncos? Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that is some really good value. So James Robinson is ranked as in terms of salary, is the 13th.
Oh, that's a steal.
Yeah.
All day.
And I think he's going to be a top 5
You have to
running
put
back
him
this
in.
week.
Yeah.
So on Yahoo he is 7th.
James Robinson?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, so they differ that much, huh? That's pretty crazy.
So
I mean, obviously each side is going to have their own rankings, their own salary. So in terms of DraftKings, I think we can all agree if James Robinson has the salary of the 13th best running back, he's going to outplay that.
Well, even on here, I mean, Chubb's $29.
And Robinson is how much?
27.
Sorry, 27. Okay.
But
yeah, and I think
what running back is in front of James Robinson on yours? On DraftKings?
Directly in front. So directly in front of Robinson is going to be Miles Sanders.
I have Jonathan Taylor, so he's a little higher.
Even above that, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So
it's a little different.
So then
Which is
that means
weird.
it's going to be much better value for James Robinson on DraftKings.
Yes.
But even if he's going as the 7th best on Yahoo, I can see him finishing as top 5 running back in terms of points this week.
I was able to get Henry and Robinson, so.
Yeah, and I would feel totally comfortable with doing that. Like I said, I've got Dalvin Cook and Robinson. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Brooks has Nachi Harris and Robinson. I'm sure he's happy with that too.
Yeah.
I think we're all set there. Okay, so that was all our lineups. That kind of was a quick little, that James Robinson talk was a quick little thing. I'm going to kind of just scroll through here and come up with a little bit more of what we see as some value picks for the week. Again, me and Justin both have Michael Pittman in our lineups this week. For DraftKings coming in at $4,100, that is so stinking cheap for a guy who's going to go into the game as wide receiver 1 on the depth chart.
Mm-hmm.
For example, or for reference, $4,100 is the same amount as Emmanuel Sanders is, Bills wide receiver, and Scotty Miller, which is the Bucks' 4th wide receiver. So Michael Pittman, number 1 receiver on the Colts, has the same salary as Emmanuel Sanders, Scotty Miller, and is also cheaper than guys like Sammy Watkins, Rashad Higgins. I mean, Cole Beasley here. I mean, that's, to me, Michael Pittman along with James Robinson, tremendous value there. I don't know if, Justin, if you're going through Yahoo on there, if you can see anybody who kind of sticks out to you, who catches your eye, who looks much cheaper than what they should be.
Yes. I have one at quarterback.
Okay.
Actually, yours is going to blow your mind. Right here. There we go. Where's he at?
Did you lose it?
I had it pulled up and it scrolled away. Oh, Mac Jones.
Okay.
$21.
So that's
he's literally
half of Mahomes.
He's literally cheaper than backups. Chad Henne is more expensive than Mac Jones.
I must have scrolled right past him. I can't find him here on DraftKings to see what his Mac Jones.
So I even thought about putting him in at quarterback and getting me a more expensive.
I'm gonna have to search him. I can't see Mac Jones anywhere.
Yeah.
Mac
Good
Mac
old
Jones,
Mac Jones.
$4,400
Yeah,
on
that's cheap.
DraftKings. That's
And he's gonna have a
very
big. I
cheap.
think he's gonna have a big day.
Mac Jones, who? Oh, I just clicked right out of it.
Patriots are playing Miami.
Miami. Okay. Yeah, he is right up there with the backups. For me, my quarterback, who could be really good value,
Mm-hmm.
I hate saying this, is going to be Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is going up against Atlanta's defense, who allowed the 31st most fantasy points to quarterbacks last year. So that's really good. He's coming in at $6,400, just above Kirk Cousins, just behind Justin Herbert, behind Tom Brady. I think Jalen Hurts, as much as I hate the Eagles, as much as I hate saying good things about them, I think Jalen Hurts is going to be really, really good value in terms of quarterbacks this week. Now, other positions, like we mentioned, James Robinson, great value. Michael Pittman. Trying to see if there's any last few that I could see on here before we move on to our next segment. I think that pretty much does it. Antonio Gibson is pretty freaking cheap, I will say. Holy crap, $5,900 behind Myles Gaskin, behind Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
Ooh,
He's cheap.
yeah.
I was close to picking him.
If I didn't have two solid running backs, and I could afford those two solid running backs, I would definitely look really highly on Antonio Gibson. So, okay. So I think that concludes our daily fantasy talk. I think we did some good stuff there.
Yes.
So, Justin, what are we moving on to next?
Oh, we're gonna move on to the spreads,
And over-unders.
over/unders, and money lines, and we will kind of move through this quickly. We won't spend much time on it.
Yeah, I would say the main focus on our, because obviously, here, DraftKings is, about, what was I saying? DraftKings is available everywhere
Mm-hmm.
and easily available everywhere. I've got an app on my phone. I can go in and make a DraftKings lineup.
Not in Alabama.
Really?
Whenever I was working in Alabama, I could not do DraftKings, and it was driving me crazy.
That's funny. So, so mostly available everywhere. And then, whereas these over-unders, these spreads, you kind of got to know somebody in order to place these bets. But if you do know somebody,
At least here in Texas.
Yeah, at least here in Texas.
Yeah.
If you happen to be listening in a state where it's legal, we're going to help you out there.
But we do not promote illegal gambling.
I'm not going to promote it, but I'm also not going to shun it.
All right. So what's our first game, Cameron?
So our first game on the docket is going to be, we're going to go with Thursday night game, Dallas at Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Current spread is Tampa's favored by 8 points. The over-under is 52 points. Where are we looking in that, guys?
I'm going to take the over on that game. I think that's going to be a really high-scoring game.
Okay.
And I'm going to take the Cowboys to cover the spread.
Okay.
You said you're going to keep track of all these?
I am. Yeah, I'm going to keep track of it. So, so Brooks has Tampa Bay -8 and over 52.
No.
Yes.
I'm picking the Cowboys.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You did say that.
Not outright win, but to cover.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to pick Cowboys not to cover.
So you like Tampa Bay -8.
Tampa Bay -8. And then, what was the...
Over-under is 52.
52. I'm going to say under.
Okay. You're boring then. Life's too short to bet the under, Justin. Just know that. I unfortunately, God, I really don't want to do this because this is like the one where if gambling were illegal or like this gambling were, I would stay away from. Never bet with your heart. Never bet on your favorite team. I'm going to say Dallas covers the 8-point spread. I still don't like them to win the game, but I do think they cover. I'm also going to go under 52 points.
Oh, wow.
I know, I just blasted
Well,
Justin for that, but first game of the year.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just I'm not gonna
Tom Brady is time management. He ain't gonna score 52 points.
Right. Okay.
Cowboys
No,
don't have a
it's
40
total.
burger.
I know that,
Yeah.
but
The
only person who's
All right,
going to
Brooks.
Cowboys is Zeke.
Okay, so
That's
Brooks,
exciting
so 30, 20. Okay, Brooks just talked me into it. I'm going over 52 points.
Oh my!
All right,
You're so
thank you, Brooks. So our next,
It's
follower.
31 to 28. You're there.
exactly.
Alright.
So
Jets and Panthers next.
next matchup is going to be Philadelphia Eagles at Atlanta Falcons.
What was that, Philadelphia? Are you from Philly? Yeah,
What?
Accent over there.
I said Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
Philly at Atlanta. Atlanta's favored by 3.5 points.
Mm-hmm.
Over/under's 48 points.
I'm gonna go over,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna say that the Eagles cover that. That's
So so 3.5 points? Do you like Eagles to win that game or just to cover the 3.5 and lose?
I would say. Are we going money line too?
No. I'm just asking.
I just said they're gonna cover the 3.5.
Okay, and you said over.
Yeah, I mean 3.5's not.
The average NFL game is within, obviously you're going to see around here, there's only 3 lines that are outside of 7 points.
Yeah.
NFL games are 1-score games, almost always. Okay, so you have Philadelphia covering and over 48 points. Brooks, what are you looking?
It's Philadelphia versus who?
Falcons at Atlanta.
I'm going to take Atlanta.
Okay, so.
Outright. Or
Okay.
not outright, but
To cover the 3.5.
yeah.
Okay.
What's the over-under?
48.
I'm going to take the over
Yeah.
in this matchup. I think it's going to be pretty high scoring.
Okay. So I am going to Philadelphia at Atlanta, 3.5 points. I am going to agree completely with Brooks. I'm going to take Atlanta plus the points, so Atlanta 3.5. And then also I'm going to go over. So me and Brooks have agreed completely on our first two. And Justin has been the opposite on both of them so far. Okay, so next matchup is going to be Minnesota Vikings at Bengals. Vikings are favored by only 3 points here. Over/under is 48.
I'm taking Vikings. I love Cincinnati. They're my team. Well, my second team besides the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
But the Vikings are going to kick their
Sounds
ass.
like you're going to hammer the Vikings -3 there. Like
And what's over under?
48.
Oh. Yeah,
I'm going to
That's
take the
low.
under.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Vikings and then over.
Vikings and over. I like that because I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go Vikings -3. I'm going to agree with Brooks. I think they win by maybe 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, but
And then I'm also going to go over 48. I think 48 is a pretty low spread they got
I
there.
think it's going to be like 31-7.
Oh, wow. So you think a blowout. Okay.
Well, yeah, but I don't think they're going to. It's going to be to get to 40.
Yeah.
4. Or
Okay.
whatever it was.
So next matchup we have is Pittsburgh at Buffalo. We got Steelers at Bills. Bills are favored by 6.5, and the over/under is 48.
Bills and over.
So saying the Bills are gonna win by 6.5.
6.5.
Yeah, I bet
Yeah.
they win by at least a touchdown. Bills and over.
All right.
Yeah, Bills and what was it? Over.
48.
I don't know why I asked you to have it right in front of me. I'm gonna go over. Josh Allen.
Okay.
Stephon Diggs. Two
So-
explosive offenses.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to agree with both of y'all. I'm going to go Bills -6.5, but I'm actually going to go under that 48-point spread. Like I said it, I don't like Pittsburgh offense. Bills have a really good defense.
Bills are going to score 40 by themselves.
Yeah.
No, Pittsburgh still has a good defense. I mean, they're not going to
They're
do
going to
that.
score
It's
40.
Josh
themselves.
Allen.
So we all have, I was going to say that's the first one. So we all agreed on Minnesota -3. We all agreed on Buffalo -6.5.
Yes.
Our next game that we've got on the schedule, San Francisco at Detroit. Niners are favored by 7.5 points.
Yes.
Over/under is 46.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Lions to cover.
Okay.
What was over under?
46.
I'm going to stay under.
Okay. So you're going to stay under. You're going to say Detroit. Give me them points. Give me them 7.5 points. I'll take them and I'll go under. Justin, what are you looking at?
I'm gonna go under, and 49ers will cover that.
Okay. Ooh, 7.5. That is that's tied for the second highest point spread this week. 7.5 points. Tied with another one that we'll get to later. Sorry, what did you say? Over or under? 46.
Under.
Under. Okay.
Did I
So
say under as well?
you said over. No, you said under. I've got it written down. You
Yeah.
said under. So I am going to go. Geez, this is a tough one because I hate these really big spreads. I am much more comfortable betting the closer spreads,
Yeah.
games that are within 3 or 4 points on the spread line. But what I'll do here, I don't like Detroit. I'm gonna go San Francisco, even at Detroit. I'm gonna go San Francisco, lay the points. I don't need those 7.5 right there. And then 46. Yeah, I'll go under as well on that one, guys. So then next matchup we got here is Arizona at Tennessee. Titans are favored by 3 points.
Yeah.
Over under there is 52, the second highest over under we have for the week. So Titans by 3, over under 52. What do y'all think?
Titans by 3, over under. I think Titans will win. So I think they'll cover. They'll
cover the
definitely
3.
cover that. Points 52.
It's a lot of points.
I'm
Like I
gonna
said, second highest this week.
What's 28? I think it's going to be like 28-21. So that's over 52, right? Correct.
That's 49.
49. I'm gonna go under 52 then.
Okay.
Under.
I'm going to take Cardinals outright.
Okay, Brooksy. Bold. I like
And I'm
that.
going to take the over.
Oh, it's gonna be under too because Titans run the ball.
Yeah, but they have a lot of explosive plays. You said under?
Yeah, under.
Okay. So I actually went Tennessee to cover the 3 points. Excuse me. I think Tennessee wins by more than a touchdown in this game, actually. And I've got, I just got the burps. I got over 52 right there. So I'm taking the over. I'm the only one to take the over in that game. That is,
I said over.
Yeah, he said over.
Oh, you did? I'm so sorry, Brooks. You did say over. I don't know why I typed in under. You're right. Okay. Next matchup, we got Seattle at Indy. Seahawks are favored by 2.5 here.
I see that.
Favored by 2.5 on the road. Over under is 49 points.
I'm going to take Seahawks and under.
Seahawks and under. Okay. So Seattle minus 2.5. And then you like the under as well there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Seahawks and under too.
Okay. You are both going Seahawks and under.
It's gonna be like a 21-10 game. Or something.
Yeah.
I'm also taking the under in this game. I think it's going to be low scoring, but I actually have Indy to win outright. Not only to cover the 2.5, but I think they're going to win outright in this game. They're at home. Carson Wentz wants to make a big debut. I like Indianapolis in that game. Seattle's got to fly from the West Coast all the way to Indy. And I believe is that a noon game? Or is that a 3 o'clock game? That's probably a 3 o'clock game. That's too.
No,
that's a noon game. Yeah, that's a noon game.
I would never bet for Carson Wentz to win a football game.
Oh, come
Yeah.
on. Don't be mean to him. Okay.
I will always be mean to him.
So next we have Chargers at the football team.
That's a weird one too.
Chargers at the football team. Chargers are favored by 1 point in this game.
Mhm.
On the road. Again, noon o'clock game. So
noon o'clock.
yeah, sorry. Noon o'clock game. Yeah, whatever. Noon game. Chargers favored by a point. Over under is 45. It's a pretty low.
Yeah, I'm gonna
over-under
go under, and Chargers will definitely win this game by more than 1 point.
there. Oh, okay. And under. Okay. Brooks?
What was over under again?
1 for the Chargers.
I'm
sorry. Over under 45.
44.5. I thought.
We're going. What are you looking at?
PFF.
Oh no, I'm looking at. We're just going based off of the Caesar Sportsbook.
Caesar
Oh, okay.
Sportsbook.
Yeah, actual Vegas. So over under 45. Chargers favored by 1 on the road at the football team.
I am going to take the Chargers. I love their offense, and I think they're going to do a lot.
Okay, so you're also taking the over then? Can I say that? Over under 45? 45 is not a lot of points.
Yeah,
You get a
I'm gonna take the over.
Yeah, the final score 24-21. That's 46 right there. So you're taking the over. So I'm taking.
What'd you say?
I said-
24, 21?
If the final score is 24-21, oh, that's 45. So that'll be a push. But that's not a lot of points.
Yeah.
So I'm actually gonna go different from you two. I'm taking Washington +1 at home. I'm taking Washington plus the points, and then I'm gonna also go over that 45-point mark.
Okay.
Next game, Jets at Panthers. Panthers favored by 5 points. Again, over under 45.
I'm
gonna
taking. Oh, go ahead.
Over 45. Panthers will win.
Okay.
Panthers will cover the 5.
Okay.
Oh, you Brooks.
I want to say Jets outright.
I know. But it's hard because these are two bad teams.
Yeah. And
I wouldn't say the Panthers are bad.
Panthers
They were bad last year.
The only reason they're good is because of Christian McCaffrey, and that's what I'm scared of in this game is Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a hard decision for me, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to say Jets outright.
Okay. So
Over.
Jets +5 and over. So I can't go all the way as to say Jets outright, but I do like Jets +5. I mean, I do think this will be a field goal game. So I've got, same as you, Jets +5 over the 45-point mark.
Okay.
Next, we have Jags at Texans.
Yes.
Jacksonville is favored by only 3 points in this game.
Mhm.
Over-under is 45 points.
Yeah.
Jags
and
outright.
It's gonna be over.
Brooks over-under 45. 3 straight 45s too. That's crazy.
Under.
Under. Okay. So we are easily all in agreement there. Jags -3. They're gonna win by
The money
much
line
more
on
than
that
3.
game is 151 too for Jags.
Really? That's pretty good odds. Justin, you said over. So we're all three in agreement on the Jags -3. But Brooks, you said under. Me and Justin said over.
Mm-hmm.
Next one is my favorite matchup of the week. This is easily the best matchup of the week. Browns at Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 6 points. Over/under is 53. So this right here is going to be your highest over/under for the entire week.
Chiefs over.
Yeah, Chiefs over.
Both of y'all.
You always gotta go over Chiefs, just like Bills.
Yeah, I wish I
I
had
think
it.
this final score is going to be like 42 or 45 to 35.
Okay.
I think it's going to be very high scoring, but I think the Chiefs are going to win by at least a touchdown.
Okay, so I don't want to do it this way, but I kind of do. Because we are, we're going to keep track of this. We're going to kind of make this a little competition. I'm going to go opposite of y'all. I'm going to go Cleveland to cover the 6-point spread. I like them to. I'm not gonna say that they're going to win outright, but I like Cleveland. Give me the 6 points, and I'll take it. But 53 points. Gosh, that's such a big spread. I don't like taking the under. I'm actually going to go under that as well. I'm going to go under. I'm confident about that one. Next, Miami, New England. Patriots favored by 3. Over under 44 points.
I'm going to take the Patriots, and I'm going to go 43. Come back to me on that. I got to think about that.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Dolphins over 43.
Dolphins outright.
Dolphins are gonna win. No cover. They're outright. Yeah, they're gonna win the game.
And you said over?
Yeah.
44.
All that shit you talk about, Tua.
Yeah, right. And now you're saying
It's a rival game.
So Brooks, over under 44.
I think it's going to be a low-scoring game is my thing, so I'm going to go under.
I do too. I also am going to take Miami plus the points. So give me Miami +3 and also under. Gosh, 44 is such a low number
Yeah,
though.
it's gonna be like 24.
That is the second lowest over/under of the week, tied for the second lowest under/over this week. So that's not a lot of points. I'm actually going to change my pick to over 44, but I still have Miami with the points. Okay, 4 matchups left. We got Green Bay at New Orleans, although they're playing it in Jacksonville this week. Green Bay is favored by 4. Over/under here is 50 points.
Green Bay over.
Okay.
Green Bay over.
I think this is pretty simple. It's going to be a high-scoring game because both offenses are very high-scoring.
Also because we got the best offense in the NFL.
No, you don't. Shut up.
So I'm also going to take Green Bay +4. I'm sorry, -4. Yeah, my computer automatically did +4 for some reason. So Green Bay -4. Yeah, I'll lay those points, but I'm going to go under the 50 mark. I don't see New Orleans putting up a lot of points.
Or if they put up at least 20, it's going to be like 35
What do you mean,
to
Jameis
20.
Winston?
Hey man, this is your team. Green Bay's got a good defense. New Orleans still has a good defense too. I think this is going to be under that 50 mark.
So our next matchup.
So next is Denver at Giants. Denver's favored by 2.5 going on the road, and the over/under. Here's our lowest over/under of the week, 42 points.
I'm gonna say Denver and under.
Okay.
Denver and over.
So okay, really.
I bet it'll be like 24-21, 28-21,
maybe.
something like that.
We'll see.
Over, and Justin, you said Denver under.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do. I'll do Denver, and I'll say Denver favored by 2.5. I'll also go Denver there, but I'm gonna go under that 42. I don't think the Giants are gonna score over 10 points in this game. Yeah. And if that's the case, I don't see Denver putting up 30 with Bridgewater. So I'm gonna go Denver minus 2.5, and then under that 42. Gosh, that's such a low spread to go under too. I know. I don't like doing it, but that's what I feel like. So. Couple matchups left. Here's going to be the Sunday night game this week. What is that? Chicago at Rams. Rams are favored by 7.5 points over the Bears. Over under here is 44 points. This is tied for the second lowest over under.
I'm going to take the Bears to cover the spread.
Okay.
And over.
And over 44.
You said 44, right?
44, yeah, really low.
Same with me.
So you're going to also go
and then over.
Chicago. Give you then 7.5 and then over.
Yep.
Let me take a couple seconds to think about this one. This is our so this is tied for our second biggest spread of the week at 7.5 points, and tied for our second lowest over under of the week at 44 points. So they have a really good defense. I'm gonna go Rams minus 7.5. I know that's a big spread. Rams minus 7.5 at home on Sunday night. First time going to be having fans in that new stadium.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Rams minus 7.5, and I will. Oh gosh, 44. I'll go over. Why not? I'll go over in that game. So we all have the over there. Okay, last one here is going to be our Monday night matchup. Baltimore at Vegas. The Ravens are favored by 4.5. The over/under is 51.
No.
Ravens under.
51. I'm going Ravens over.
Okay, so Ravens over for Justin?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to completely agree with Brooks here. I'm going to go Ravens and under the 51 points. I think they're going to really hold Vegas to not.
It'll be like 28-7, maybe
We'll see.
10.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So that concludes all our games. I don't know. Maybe we can figure out a way to. I know it'd be a little bit of work. Way to put this on a graphic and put it out on our Instagram or Twitter.
Yeah, I'll
do
figure
that.
it out.
Yeah, I'll do that. So obviously that's 16 games we got there. I'm not going to go through and recap this whole thing.
Yes.
That's a lot of games. But that's it for us. That's our what we'll call this our weekly gambling podcast where we do our. We're going to be doing this every week where we do our daily fantasy, where we do our lines and over under picks.
What's the name of it, Ken?
I thought
Cheddar
it was
Talk.
So this is Cave Chatter. This is going to be our Cheddar Talk right here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's pretty good. Let us know what y'all think about that name there. I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty clever.
Sounds good.
So, all right. Anything else that we have, guys?
That's all I got for
That's
now.
all. We actually have a draft coming up, don't we?
Yeah, for one of our fans.
One of our fans is having us
I'm
draft their
actually
team.
on the clock in a minute.
Okay. 7:30 p.m. is what it is right now, and the draft starts at 7:30. So now we got the second pick. So
Omar. If you're
all right.
listening.
Well, Omar. Shout out Omar. Love you, my guy. That's a good dude right there.
All right.
Okay. Anything else? I'll close this out. Follow us on Instagram at Cave Chatter. Give us a follow on Twitter. Make sure you're following us on YouTube, Cave Chatter. Watch our videos. Subscribe. Comment down there. And on Spotify, Cave. You're gonna find us at Cave Chatter on everything. All right.
Yes, sir.
So for me, for Brooks, for Justin, I hope y'all are excited for game week as we are. We got actual football this week, guys. Let's go. Let's have some fun. All right. Peace.
Later.
Later.